Everyone says, when are they gonna make a new Pokemon type? But maybe we have too many. I mean, rock and ground. Was that really necessary, guys? But what's the worst Pokemon of every type, and why is it Ledian just terastallized into every different type? Sorry, that might have been a spoiler. Today, we're gonna find out because Moxie is gonna let us know. Make sure you subscribe to Moxie. He has absolutely fantastic competitive Pokemon videos, both edited, highly edited content, but also on his second channel, he's been uploading some actual VGC content as well, which has been fantastic. So let's take a look at the worst of every
comes to
type.
Pokemon,
I do maintain that it will be Ledian. It has to be. There's simply no way it's not.
Certainly Pokemon. All of them have types, and some of these Pokemon are bad. Look, you read the title.
Whoa, 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 what's Skuntank doing there? Hold on, I don't understand. There's no need for Skuntank slander. It's great, it's got a good type in. It's got Flamethrower. Who knew that a poison type could get Flamethrower?
I don't need to write an intro for this, right? Let's just get into it. If you want to get some bonus content, become a member or join my Patreon or whatever, and be sure to leave a like and subscribe. As far as how these Pokemon were chosen, I decided to select them based off of them having a lack of competitive viability overall, a lack of any niche, low base stats, and subpar abilities. They have to be fully evolved to qualify, so no Magikarp.
Well, actually, I think Ledian gets like Iron Fist. It must get Iron Fist, right? It's got to take advantage of that massive 35 attack, surely. Oh yeah, Iron Fist. Okay, so you can use all your Comet Punches to boost up that, gargantuan stats right there. Listen, not every Pokemon needs to have good stats. Not every Pokemon needs to have a good typing. Not every Pokemon needs to have a good move. Did I just accidentally pull up like a different Oh my god, what I was watching that earlier. How did that get there? That's so funny. But my point is, the Pokemon's got to at least have one thing. It has to have something going for it. Surely it has to have, even like, I mean, Ledian has a good design, some would say.
On this list, and some Pokemon are technically the worst of two separate types, so I just went with the type that get better represented and chose something else for the remaining type. Let's get into it. Okay, so kicking off this video with the normal type, we're basically...
If I'm gonna guess flying type, okay, normal type. The first thing that popped to my head was Unpheasant, but I think that would probably be like the worst of the flying types, so I'm gonna reserve my Unpheasant guess for there. I think obviously Bug is gonna be Ledian. Normal's quite tough because there are a lot of quite weak ones like Watchog.
We're gonna establish what the most mid of the mid Pokemon look like. The normal type is already lacking anything that makes it really stand out, thus its name. They're normal, but that isn't to say the whole type is bad. Normal is one of the greatest secondary types a Pokemon can have, with it gaining a ghost immunity and stab on moves like Hyper Voice and Double Edge. I mean, look at Ursaluna. That thing's a beast.
Oh, that thing is a menace. I think it has to be one of those like Route 1 bugs. I don't think it'll be Raticate. It might be Watchog, but I don't know. Watchog's not in Scarlet and Violet, so maybe Watchog's not included in this video. I'm not really sure how that's gonna work.
Who's the worst normal type? Well, the cop-out, I want free views answer would be to say something like Bibarel or Raticate, but this...
Nah, it's not that great. I mean, you can use them as like a HM slave. And Raticate, I like Raticate. Genuinely, I really like Raticate. Have you seen this card art from the new set, Destined Rivals? It looks so sick. I love Raticate. I think this looks genuinely fantastic.
Despite being a gimmick Pokemon who can change its type based on the weather, Castform brings 100%. Basically nothing to the table.
Oh, well, I mean, it really was created to just explain the gimmick of the generation, wasn't it? There's so many Pokemon that just are the gimmick of the generation. Ultra Necrozma is the Z-move gimmick. You got Eternatus being the Dynamax gimmick. You got Terapagos being the Terastallization gimmick, like personified in an actual creature. But at least those are good. And, you know, if they were in other generations, they would still be solid by themselves. And you could say, oh, it's Groudon and Kyogre for 3rd gen, which, you know, kind of it is. This is more like the warm-up. And I can't think of any other warm-up Pokemon for gimmicks specifically that just kind of do one thing, then it is the one thing that generation introduces. Apart from Castform, there might be some.
Yes, it has great coverage moves like Ice Beam, Flamethrower, and Thunderbolt, but amongst normal types, that's actually not uncommon at all. In fact, that's like their whole deal. They just have coverage moves. It's just that Castform is able to change its type to match the weather, hypothetically making these moves stronger, but with the
I mean, I will say Weather Ball is really good, but the unfortunate part about that is, of course, so many other Pokemon already get Weather Ball. That's not really a signature move anymore.
Weather being so easily overwritten by opponents in modern competitive formats, what you're left with here is a Pokemon with 70 base stats across the board.
Oh, it's lower than Glalie.
That can't hit very hard at all. Even a Pokemon like Spinda, who has lower...
Oh my god, Spinda has 60 across the board? That is truly embarrassing.
Stats has much more of a use case, with it having access to Fake Out and Trick Room, along with similar coverage options. Castform, meanwhile, just seems to be perpetually out of season. This channel is partnered with Gamer
Whoa!
Subs. If you want to support my work and get great
Let's
tasting
go!
drinks, you can order Gamer Subs through my link in the
We love
description
that.
down below or with code MoxieBoosted at checkout for 10% off. Gamer Subs is a caffeinated product that I recommend only to my 18+ viewers, but my link will send you to their caffeine-free product section just in case. Every product purchased through my link supports my channel financially, so I'd really appreciate the support. Now back to the video. Before writing this video, I didn't realize just how few fire-type Pokemon there are. Like, I thought this would be a much harder question to answer. Also, while we're on the topic of lack of fire types, I gotta make sure Sinnoh catches a stray. Haha, mid-region. But while the fire type has a lot of great Pokemon,
I mean, Sinnoh's nice. I will say, I think I have like this weird bias towards Sinnoh, even though there are so many flaws with it.
like Chi-Yu and Incineroar dominating competitive formats, it also has a bunch of unremarkable Pokemon. Some of the Pokemon I considered for this spot included Simisear, Centiskorch, and Rapidash.
Okay, the worst fire type. Don't say Torkoal. No, Torkoal at least has Drow. I mean, that is a redeeming factor. I love Torkoal. Truly, I thought it would be Simisear, but Simisear seems a bit too much like an easy gimme. Like, oh yeah, it's the monkey one. You know, we all hate the monkey one, which is true. I do hate the monkey one. Rapidash is, it's just Gen 1 bias. I feel like if Rapidash came out in another generation, it wouldn't be nearly as loved as maybe it is now. Centiskorch is fun in a way. Probably wouldn't use it for more than one Nuzlocke, but still pretty fun. And I know we're talking about like competitive, we're talking about VGC. I'm just thinking like in the way that I play the game, what would I say is the worst? And how does that compare to what would be considered the worst in competitive? Because there's such different formats. But the worst competitive fire type, it's got to be Camerups.
But truth be told, what does Heatmore even do?
Oh, Heatmore has the best freaking move in the game. He's got Fire Lash. Fire Lash is so good. It's an 80 base power fire move that guaranteed lowers your defense. That's great.
Heatmore has some interesting things going on, including a solid special attack stat, but its other stats are really lacking. 85
Come on, bring up Fire Lash.
HP, trash defenses, and 65 base speed. Yeah, good luck using that special attack stat. How are you going to fail to outspeed most Pokemon, not tank a hit well, and then fail to KO anything?
That's the problem with these mixed attackers. If you have good attack and good special attack and a low base stat total, it's over. Because you're going to be slow and you're going to be frail. That's it.
All in one turn. Truly a generational talent we have here. Heatmore especially has trouble using its special attack stat when most of its coverage options are on the physical side of things. On the special side, Heatmore is stuck clicking Focus Blast and Giga Drain. Not ideal. At least it has a decent Durant matchup, right?
At least yeah. I mean, it is the natural predator of Durant. Because Durant, for some stupid, God knows reason, decided to, I'll evolve to have a steel outer layer to counter the freaking Heatmores. What kind of stupid idea was that?
Nope. Brother, the Rock Slide is coming. You're going to the Pokemon Center. This one was surprisingly easy to answer. I mean, it's...
Okay, water. What is going to be the worst water? Don't peek your little head, okay? Get down. It's not Wugtrio. There's no way it's Wugtrio. Wugtrio is genuine. I've been using Wugtrio, albeit in singles matches, and I'm pretty sure we're talking about VGC here. But I've been using Wugtrio in Then We Fight battles, and that thing banded with Triple Dive and Terra Water, that is a menace. That'll do some crazy, ridiculous damage.
Wugtrio, right? Like, it's just obviously Wugtrio.
No,
Wugtrio's the worst water type.
No, Wugtrio's great.
Wugtrio has 0 useful abilities, 0 powerful attacks, and practically 0 base stat total.
Yeah,
and by
fair.
0, I mean its base stat total is 425.
Okay, I don't quite know how you get 33 base stat for HP. I don't really know how that happens, Wugtrio, but you need to figure that out. That means individually, every strand of Wug, as it would be, has 11 HP total.
Which is absurdly low for a Generation 9 Pokemon. It does have a decent attack stat in 100 and a very impressive speed stat in 120. However, this doesn't help it at all when it fails to pick up KOs and gets knocked out by a stray leaf landing.
Nah, you just need to put a choice band on this, trust me.
What's probably the funniest thing about Wugtrio is the fact that as a water type, it's part of the type that has the most Pokemon in the game, including some of the best to ever do it. Most notably, Urshifu Rapid Strike, who has an argument of being the absolute best water type ever. Urshifu Rapid Strike.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not close. I mean, you could have Kyogre up there, but in terms of restricted Pokemon versus unrestricted Pokemon, Urshifu is, I think, unrestricted. I'm pretty sure there's no restrictions on Urshifu, and obviously, like, Kyogre is ridiculous. It's super powerful, especially when you consider Primal Kyogre. That thing's a menace too.
It has the signature move of Surging Strikes, which is a 25 base power water type move that hits 3 times and always crits, meaning it's
which is insane.
Basically a 112 base power move. Meanwhile, Wugtrio has Triple Dive, a 30 base power move that hits 3 times and does not always crit.
Yeah, but I mean, Urshifu's a legendary. Wugtrio has slightly higher base power. If I'm right on that, yeah, 25 base power versus 30 base power. So, like, we're kind of making up for it a bit there.
Urshifu at home. Yeah, I mean, at least he can bury his head in the sand, though. It helps.
And it has 3 chances to crit, even if it isn't a guaranteed critical hit.
Shame. The grass type is home to many solid Pokemon. And
okay, grass type. Is it going to be Meganium? It's probably going to be Meganium or Simisage. Simisage genuinely might be it because I've never heard of a Simisage being used before.
Many forgettable ones, but only a few notably bad Wait. No. Leave him out of this. He's not even close to being the worst. It's
oh god, okay, there's Moxie boosted lore here, by the way. This is when Moxie attempted to bring a Wo-Chien to, I don't know if it was a regionals or an internationals, but as you can see, it didn't go very well. Like, there was a whole story leading up to that about Moxie using Wo-Chien and liking Wo-Chien. Unfortunately, it didn't go so well. Sorry for the spoilers.
I have leftover Taco Bell sitting out on the coffee table. It's nice and cold, just how you like it. Okay, grass type.
Cold Taco Bell. Oh my god, what kind of demon eats cold Taco Bell? Jesus Christ. I mean, cold pizza, I can understand, I can comprehend that. Wakarimashita. But cold Taco Bell, that sounds like sludge. That sounds like sludge of sadness.
I was considering a few for this list, including Cherrim and Carnivine, but Cherrim has a pretty solid ability in doubles, granting.
Okay, Flower Gift is oh Jesus Christ, Cherrim, I can't believe he exists. Hold on. Carnivine has aura. Can I say that? I don't know if I can. Does Carnivine have aura? Probably not.
An attack and special defense boost in Sun to its partner Pokemon, and Carnivine just hits a little too hard and has decent moves.
Yeah, I mean, Carnivine truly. I wish Carnivine was better. I wish it got an evolution. Even a Mega Evolution probably wouldn't make it very good. It really needs like a fully fledged evolution, and they could go so many ways with that. They could have its Carnivines stick into the floor as it branches out and becomes like a massive Venus flytrap beast that has multiple fly traps, like its hand turned into fly traps and has a big head with, I don't know, there's a lot of things you could do with this, clearly, but it's sad that it didn't.
We have Sunflora.
Oh yeah, I mean, easy.
Sunflora does have the capability to hit like a truck off of its solar power boosted 105 base special attack stat, but
yeah, I mean, listen, you put this in the sun, solar beam, bam, there.
I have a question.
Yep.
Where did the other stats go?
What? Well, we don't need speed. I mean, if you see this thing run around, oh my, that was too zoomed in. Have you seen the things that run around in Scarlet and Violet? It's quite slow. Can't keep up with Miraidon, even though it has like 100 more base speed than it, so obviously it wouldn't. Why does it have 75 attack? I have no idea. 75 HP is not necessarily bad, and 85 special defense is not necessarily bad. Honestly, if you just took like 30 of its attack, put it into defense, it would be decent in Trick Room. It would be quite decent.
30 base speed is pretty great for Trick Room, but when you're going up against Pokemon like Iron Hands and Calyrex Ice, it's pretty hard to justify using the Sunflower.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're never gonna use this in like proper competitive, obviously,
that can
right?
actually stop them like a Amogus. Weather Ball is also pretty good though, so it has that going for it. Okay, so the worst flying type is actually kind of a funny thing to figure.
Here we go. Worst flying type, Unpheasant.
Because flying types generally across the board are in a perpetual mid-off. Yeah, we got Tornadus and Yveltal, but we also have Tropius and Emolga. What?
Whoa, Tropius is really sick, and Emolga looks cute. There was that one card in like the black and white era that was really cute for Emolga. I mean, just look at it. It isn't that adorable. How could you look at this face? I mean, it's quite punchable, actually, now that I think of it.
What do these Pokemon do exactly? Not much. I mean, Tropius is a decent harvest staller, and Emolga gets Motor Drive, I think. I don't know, I'm not double checking that, but it sounds right. These are things that set the Pokemon apart from others, making them worth running in very specific scenarios. Thus, the worst flying Pokemon would probably have to be a normal flying type, since
Unpheasant, here it comes. He's gonna say Unpheasant.
The distinguishing factors between the various ones of them that we have are pretty limited. In my opinion, the worst of these has to be Chatot. You see, Chatot used to have this fun feature where you could scream into your Nintendo DS microphone and it would correlate with a stronger power for the move Chatter.
And it would also play what you had said if you used it on like, wait, is that how it works? I remember people saying that if you use chatter on like Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, it would use your chatter when you battle someone in like the DS Online. So if you said like, subscribe to Moxie Boosted, it would say that in the chatter when you use it against someone in an online battle. I don't know if that's necessarily true. It's also a terrible idea. People be saying slurs all the time.
Move which would also confuse the opponent. It used to be decent, up until they nerfed Chatter by setting it to a pretty low base power and removed the custom sound feature. Side note, I really like to say my opponent's full name and address into the microphone so as to confuse both them and their Pokemon when I use this move.
Wait, how did you know that?
With this niche gone, there's practically no reason to use Chatot. It has mediocre offensive stats, mediocre speed, and non-existent defenses, along with a very generic set of moves that it can learn, with the exception.
I think Chatot's also a Pokemon that would really benefit from having some kind of evolution. I mean, I understand that not every Pokemon needs an evolution, but for a songbird, there's so much possibility for a songbird. I feel like in design-wise, you could do a lot with this.
Exception of Boomburst.
I mean, obviously, like, Chatot's head has a musical note on it. Even when it like flares its wings, it could release some kind of like a musical, like maybe it's wings or a guitar. It's probably a good thing I'm not making the Pokemon, isn't it?
But I'd sooner use something like Swellow for Boomburst spam since it's a lot faster and it can actually hit ghost types with Scrappy. Chatot just isn't on par with that. You know, fighting types were all pretty solid for...
Okay, fighting type. What is the worst fighting type? Hariyama? No, it can't be Hariyama. It's not going to be Hitmonlee. No, Hitmontop. No, that's also really not that bad either. Sock. Throw.
a really long time.
It's gotta be Throw.
Even all the Gen 1 fighting types went on to age pretty well. Machamp is good. All the Hitmons are solid with access to Fake Out and other support moves. Hey, even Primeape got a broken evolution. See my last video about Pokemon that need nerfs. So it's kind of...
Hey, you should watch that, by the way. Not going to be reacting to it, so it's a perfect video for you to watch after this.
crazy that the worst fighting type comes from Generation 8 of all places.
Really? Oh,
Grapploct does its best to be
Grapploct! Oh, yeah. I mean, Grapploct truly did have so much potential. Has a really sick design and a really cool idea behind it, but then it just did absolutely nothing with it. It's like a Mucha Lucha kind of creature.
It's got access to some cool moves like Circle Throw and even its signature move of Octolock. This move traps in the opponent while lowering their defensive stats at the end of each turn.
That's really cool if you can survive a few
But Grapploct
hits.
just doesn't have the bulk to stay in on the Pokemon that's trapped by this move, nor the offenses to KO them during the trap. Grapploct is forced to protect every other turn to get the most out of Octolock.
I didn't even think about Protect, I'm going to be
And
honest.
hopefully
It's also slow, which is the problem as well.
With Drain Punch. That's
Like, okay, so with Octolock, you could, on the turn you use it, it drops your defense. Then you protect, it drops defense again. Then you hit them with a Drain Punch. But he's too slow to be able to take advantage of that. And it's not bulky enough to be able to take hits
about
either.
all it can do. And that's not to say that Grapploct isn't completely unviable. It's just that it's among beasts like Zamazenta and Urshifu. It's certainly not keeping pace with them. Hey, I'd even take Throw Rogan over here instead of
Oh man, I literally said that. Throw Rogan? I mean, he is bold. And he is kind of red too.
Grapploct. At least he can take a hit. Just don't let him talk for too long or you'll start to realize that he's not all there. Clobbopus does make my list of top 10 Pokemon though. Like, that design's killer. Who wouldn't want this guy hanging around their house? Look at this little dude. I love you. Okay, the
Yeah, I mean, he is cute. The problem is he doesn't have fingers. And I'm just like, how do you pick things
worst
up?
poison type is
Oh, no, Swalot! Okay, I need to be quicker on the ball when it comes to poison, I
Swalot.
suppose.
And I thought it was Beedrill for a little bit, but that might be the worst bug type too, so we're gonna have to think about
No, I mean, Beedrill has to be worse than Swalot. Surely Beedrill is worse than Swalot. I can't think of a single redeeming factor for Beedrill, but I have been not beaten, but put in a very bad position by a Swalot before. Now, bearing in mind that Swalot did indeed have massively boosted stats. But if we take away, if you think, well, maybe even if it didn't, maybe it still would have. Probably not. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I'm just gonna settle on Swalot for now. The best way to describe Swalot is that Game Freak was finally going to build a bulky, toxic stalling Pokemon, but then chickened out at the last second.
They were like, people would be really annoyed if we did this. It's got Gluttony, it eats berries. It's got mediocre defenses, and the HP is not really anything to write home about. And oh, those offenses, what happened
Swalot
there?
was built to be a defensive wall with access to Stockpile and Swallow to boost its defenses and toxic stall the opponent. But when the recovery depends on how many stockpiles the opponent let you get off in the first place, it's not really going to be doing its job well. It does have some interesting coverage that other poison types don't, like Ice Beam and Flamethrower.
I like Swalot's design a lot more than Mux. Or do I? Maybe he's too smooth.
But that's not exactly in high demand from a Pokemon with offenses in the
He looks like something you could ground pound as Mario.
70s. Also, what's the name of its pre-evolution called again? I completely forgot. Comment
It's Gulpin. It's Gulpin.
down below. Electric has some of the most...
Moxie, it's Gulpin. It's, the Pokemon's name is Gulpin. Gulpin. Do you remember Gulpin? Oh, electric types.
Busted
Okay, what's electric type? Magnemite. No, can't be Magnemite. Magnetism's already good. Electrike? Manectric. Manectric without a Mega Evolution.
Pokemon in its ranks, from Regieleki to Tapu Koko to Miraidon. We actually haven't gotten a single generation since Gen 7 without a new electric type to complain about. However, it's also home to the Pika clones.
Oh, yeah. Well, whoa. Let's take Pormok out of this. Pormok has a really cool design. It has a unique move. It has a secondary typing. It has Double Shock and it has Revival Blessing, and it's cute, and it has marketable plushies made of it. Now, the others have the last one, but all of these other Pokemon, plus or minus, sorry, Rich, Morpeko, which, I mean, does have a unique gimmick, that's true, but is ugly as sin. Pachirisu, yeah, it might be a world champion, but I mean, come on, it was like it wasn't hard carried by everything else on his team. And Amolga's okay. Pormok shouldn't be on this list of bad Pokemon.
A group of Pokemon that bear a passing resemblance to the series mascot, Jeff. You know Jeff. He put Ash in a coma in episode 1 of the anime, and now he never ages or something. Come back
Why would Jeff do this? How did he do this? Did he hit him with a car? Did he punch him in the
for
face?
more cartoon theories. These Pika clones have pretty inconsistent viability in doubles, and by far the two worst of them are Minun and Plusle. Minun and Plusle have a base stat total of just 405. They kind of served as an introduction to the mechanics of double battles, which were introduced in Generation 3. Despite this,
Oh, that's a warm-up Pokemon. Yeah, that's another one. It's like I mentioned, Castform is the warm-up for the weather abilities and weather in general. Then Plusle and Minun is the warm-up for, oh, this is how double battles work, and here's how Pokemon can work in tandem together.
they don't function very well in this role.
Why are they called Danny and Doug?
Just check out the NPCs in Gen 3 who would helping hand each other every turn until you just knock them out. That being said, Plusle is far better than Minun exclusively because Plusle has the hidden ability of Lightning Rod, while Minun has Volt Absorb. You see, the reason Plusle has Lightning Rod is actually
Oh, that draws in electric type moves, doesn't it? Whether it was Volt Absorb doesn't draw in moves.
because electrons carry a negative charge, and as a positively charged Pokemon, it attracts them. Meanwhile, Minun heals from these moves because it's like becoming more negatively charged, I guess. Anyways, Minun's the worst, and I'm glad I
actually didn't know that. That's a little bit of tidbit. That's a little tidbit of science for you.
I got to do a physics lesson in one of these videos. That degrees are really paying off.
Oh, nice. Yeah, let's go. Listen, you got more use out of that than I did out of my applied computing degree. Got a first in applied computing, which is like the highest rank that you can. Don't know why. I was terrible at it. Really terrible.
I play Pokemon for a living. It's Landorus. Featherless, yet
What? No, don't be silly. It's trash.
not bipedal. It's not even a man. Nah, I'm playing. Wormadam
Oh my god, I forgot about Wormadam. That's so true. Yo, show me Bug. Show me Leggy.
Sandy Cloak is actually my pick for the worst ground type. Wormadam has some of the most abhorrent stats I've seen on a Quiverdan's user in my life. How am I supposed to boost my speed and special attack to any significant amount when I'm starting with 59 special attack and 36 speed? It's a defensive Pokemon with a pretty mediocre defensive type.
What is the point of Wormadam? I don't understand. Like, looking at the stats, looking at anticipation, looking at the moves it gets, I don't get it. I don't understand what this is supposed to be. Did they just RNG this? I think they just random number generated some stats and they're like, yeah, that'll do.
That just can't sponge hits when it's got 60 HP and 105 defense. Even its special defense is just 85, so it's not really tanking any moves. Best it can muster is clicking Stealth Rocks and Earthquaking once in a while, but
yeah, but it has 79 attack?
Beyond that,
so
it doesn't
low.
really serve much of a purpose in most matches. You were better off trying to evolve that thing into a Mothim, as bad of a Quiverdancer
And Mothim is awful as well.
as that Pokemon is. And if you want a defensive Stealth Rocker, there's plenty of decent ground types out there that can do it. Even the mediocre ones would be an improvement. Look, man, I love Claydol, but I'll be the first to say he isn't all
Wait a minute, Lycanroc's not a ground type.
that in a bag of chips. Meanwhile, Wormadam just looks like a bag of chips, so try again.
He does look like he could open
Look,
them up.
rock types have a bit of a reputation.
Okay, rock types, I mean, they're really bad. There's a lot of really bad rock types. What about Archeops? It has the worst ability known to man. Archeops is basically unusable because of its ability. It's got to be Archeops.
For falling just short of being good Pokemon. Look at Rampardos and Bastiodon, but at the very least, they serve some role, right? Meanwhile, Gen 3, who is
Why did I just say Bastiodon? I didn't even follow up with anything. What was that all about?
strangely overrepresented on this list, despite being one of
Lileep? No. Anorith? No. Can't be. No, it can't be their
my favorite
fossils.
gens, gave us Solrock and Lunatone.
Oh, Solrock and Lunatone. I mean, I had a tough time against Tate and Liza when they were rocking these, so maybe they're not as bad as we think.
Two Pokemon that just don't know what they want to do. As Psychic Rock-type Pokemon, they should have a decently easy time hitting things for at least neutral damage, but their stats, man...
Wait, what? Whoa, wait, what's... Okay, what is going on here? Why did they give a Psychic type 55 special attack when Zen Headbutt didn't even exist yet? In third generation, Psychic was just special, and it has 55 special attack? What am I supposed to take away from this? What is it supposed to do?
Look at their stats. Solrock and Lunatone are physical and special variants of what is effectively the exact same Pokemon, but they have Levitate, which is cool, I guess. It negates their ground weaknesses.
I do like the design, though. I think the moon and the sun one's very
Solrock
cool.
can at least rock slide spam, and for some reason has access to Flare Blitz, Lunatone is stuck clicking Power Gem and Meteor Beam. But the most tragic
Hey, Meteor Beam's fun, though. I love it when it misses.
part of Lunatone is the fact that it can't use Expanding Force spam like other Psychic Pokemon. Not because it doesn't have the move, no, but because it's levitating.
Wait, what? Oh, it's off the ground, so it's not in the psychic terrain, which means... Oh, that's so sad.
You need to be touching the ground in Psychic terrain to get the most damage out of the move. Please, Game Freak, just let these two evolve. It's
That's so sad.
unknown. Do I have any?
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense. There truly is no need to explain any farther than that.
Need
Yeah.
to justify this one? Here's a list of moves that Unknown can currently learn as of Gen 9.
Wow.
The Ice type is notorious for being among the worst types in the game.
Okay, what about Galarian Zen mode dominant? No, that doesn't make no. That's really no. Is that good? Is Galarian Zen mode dominant good? Actually, I have no idea. Bad ice type. Cubchoo. Lapras? No, can't be Lapras. Dugong.
Not necessarily because the typing can't hit much, because it's actually very good offensively, but because Game Freak really loved making ice types defensive Pokemon for some reason. I have no idea why. I mean, look at this defensive spread. It's just not feasible. I don't care how much defense.
Wait. Avalugg? No, Avalugg is good. Avalug's better than Dugong.
You gave
Oh, I guess Dugong gets Patterrz song at least.
Avalugg isn't going to work. However, what if Game Freak designed an ice type that is not only bad offensively, but can't eat a hit for the life of it?
Dugong.
Welcome, Delibird.
Ah, come on. Delibird's great. It gets Endeavor.
This thing literally has a base stat total of 330, and despite Girafarig, Dunsparce, and other bad Gen 2 Pokemon going on to gain an evolution in future titles, this guy was left jobless in Santa's village. How are you going to deliver all the presents in one night with 75 base speed, little guy? You're not.
I just needs a choice scarf. He'll be fine.
Timmy's getting nothing for Christmas.
I mean, he's a choice scarf. What else is he going to use that other than presents?
It's all your fault. At least you got
God, Gen 2 had so many bad Pokemon.
Fake Out, but the list of ice types with Fake Out include Weavile, Jinx, Mr. Rhyme, and even Dugong.
What? Wait, what? Why?
For some reason. So this is never going to be your first choice. Dude, this thing had Vital Spirit as an ability since Gen 3, and instead of buffing it with a hidden ability in Gen 9, they just gave it Insomnia. He's going to be doing this forever, isn't he? Okay, I lied. While I was
Why? Why is Delibird not allowed to sleep?
writing the script, my friend Ellie reminded me that unfortunately, Ledian exists.
Yes, there is. Heartbreaking. Ledian found alive in
Beedrill
Johto.
is not the worst bug type. You see,
What? Yeah, I mean, it's 100% the worst stuff. It's got to be the worst bug type.
Ledian just doesn't do anything. No, really, like, at least Beedrill can hit things with crits off of Sniper and has access to, like, Knockoff and Drill Run. Its coverage isn't terrible, but Ledian has a...
Ledian does nothing. Ledian uses Comet Punch, and that is embarrassing.
Base stat total of 390, and nearly a third of those stats are in its special defense. What are its other stats, you might ask? 55 HP, 35 attack, 50 defense, 55 special attack.
Like, what was the purpose of this? And it's a genuinely cool design as well. I actually like how Ledian looks. It's a bit like a superhero. If a superhero was not a superhero and was just a person dressed up as a superhero that also had no arms and no legs, that's the stat spread you'd get for Ledian.
And 85 speed. What are we doing here? It's a bug flying type, dude. At least let it outspeed the rock types. It's got less attack than Elekid, dude, and its moveset is limited to screen support and Tailwind. This is a fully evolved Pokemon, bro. Let's change subjects. Ghost Pokemon?
It's so sad. Oh wait, worst ghost. Worst ghost. Mischievous. No, because it falls into Miss Magus, and Miss Magus isn't that bad. Banette? Is it
actually have
Banette?
a pretty good reputation. Most ghost Pokemon have some semblance of viability. I mean, this one was a really close call between base form Rotom and Banette, but
oh, okay, but what do we come
while
to?
base form Rotom is able to spam Thunder Wave and Volt Switch out of bad situations, Banette just lacks any role in a match these days.
Yeah, I mean, what does it do? It has like a decent attack and that's it. Obviously, if you factor in Mega Evolutions, then Banette becomes a lot better. But honestly, of the Mega Evolutions, it's probably one of the worst.
And that's with 115 base attack and access to Poltergeist. Its speed and bulk are seriously lacking, but the fact that this is the worst of the ghost types just goes to show how strong the type really is overall. Banette just really doesn't have much going for it. It can click Knockoff, burn things, Destiny Bond, but basically
It can kill itself. Great. That's fantastic. Yes, we have found a Pokemon that can kill itself. Brilliant.
every
Yes, I'll have 6, please. Waiter, can I have some more, please?
other ghost type does its job just better. It's one of the Pokemon in the game who genuinely misses its old Mega form the most. Steel types can be very...
Oh, Steel types. Steelix, no, probably won't be Steelix. I mean, Aggron. Aggron's not great. I wish Aggron was better, but Aggron. I just get the Mega Evolution. I mean, we're not really talking about Mega Evolutions here. Is it Steelix? Is it Carbink? No, Carbink's not Steel type. I'm being stupid. Durant. No, I mean, Durant's quite fast and can hit quite hard too. Fortress? Fortress is useful. Ferrothorn is really good.
hit or miss. I mean, we have things like Zacian, but we also have Pokemon like Wormadam Trash.
Well, yeah, but we can't use Wormadam again, surely.
But even worse than the trash in the trees
What? Even worse?
is the trash on the floor.
Okay, I forgot this thing existed completely. Galarian Stunfisk. Wow, what a creature.
Stunfisk Galarian form is one of my favorite Pokemon in the game, sheerly off of its design. I mean, it's a bear trap. A bear trap that loses to literally every bear in the game, but...
That's so true. Wait, I didn't even think about that. It should be able to do more damage to bear Pokemon. That should be its ability.
A bear trap nonetheless. It's stuck with really bad stats and a very situational gimmick.
And its ability is changing its type to the type of the terrain that is up.
Its only ability
what is the point of that?
Is Mimicry, an ability which causes it to be whatever type the current terrain condition on the field is. It does get access to Terrain Pulse, but this is a special attack coming off of its 66 base special attack stat. And even its 81 physical attack stat is
Terrain Pulse? I forgot that. I don't think I've ever seen Terrain Pulse be used before.
enough to make you
Man, they really invested heavily in terrain in Gen 7 and 8,
this
didn't
guy.
they?
Even its signature move isn't doing it any favors,
Wait, what's the signature move?
as Snap Trap is a
Snap Trap? What in God's name?
30 base power grass move that traps the opponent. It's
What? What? Grass? Why is it grass type? It's a bear trap. It's made of steel. It's a steel type. Why would the trap be grass? If the Galarian Stunfisk does this, pachoom, uh-oh, you're trapped now, then why is this a grass type move?
not even getting stabbed on its own signature move. Once again, we have a defensive Pokemon that doesn't eat hits well and doesn't accomplish anything as long as it sits on the
Game
field.
Freak!
Once again, we have a type that is home to some of the strongest Pokemon
Druddigon. No, Druddigon's quite good. Dragon. Apple?
in the game. I mean,
Apple
they're
type?
dragons. If they're not strong, I don't want them. Hey, get that apple out of my face.
Whoa. Hydro Apple Stick,
Among
okay.
these Pokemon, the one I find has the least use cases has to be Altaria.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, there's a really cute Altaria card.
Yet another Pokemon which just
So maybe you could bribe your opponent to throw the match and give them this Altaria card, and then it would have some good use.
doesn't accomplish anything particularly well. Even the most mid of the dragon types like Druddigon have a role to fill, like clicking stealth rocks and walling out physical attackers with rough skin and a rocky helmet. Meanwhile, Altaria has, like, I don't know, Dragon Dance, I guess?
Yeah, this is why they gave these Pokemon Mega
I think
Evolutions.
someone once made day 2 of the World Championships with a Fire Spin set, but I don't really recall that super
Fire
well.
Spin
Altaria is just
Altaria?
lacking
What?
a lot in terms of a niche. Cloud9 is a hidden ability that did let it somewhat stop weather wars in certain formats, but it's just not worth running for that one
Yeah, and then what? It dies
purpose.
immediately. It's in front of a Metagross and a Tapu Fini. What's it
to
gonna
make you
do?
believe it's meant to be defensive, but it's mostly just going to sit on the field and twiddle its fingers until it gets knocked out. So it's definitely the worst of the
It did have Perish Song though. I did see it had Perish Song, and that's always
dragon
fun.
types. This one hurts. As a
Dark type. Ooh, Dark type. Ooh. There's a Morpeko.
big fan of Biggie Cheese and Mr. Cheddar, I do love rats. I used to even have a couple of pet rats, if you remember back then on the channel. But Alolan Raticate
Oh, wait, I love rats too. Hold on, Morpeko is not the worst
is
Dark
among
type?
some titans in the dark type category. How am I supposed to choose the big rat with no stats over 80 and inaccurate
Oh, what? Wait, why does it have such a low attack? What?
moves with the ability Hustle over
Oh god, what are we doing here? Giga. Ew. Charge Beam. Why does it have
Pokemon
Charge
like
Beam for?
Urshifu Dark and Grimmsnarl? I just won't. I refuse to do that. Alolan Raticate isn't even the best dark normal type in the game that you find on Route 1. Obstagoon does literally everything Alolan Raticate does, just a lot better. Raticate gets one shot by any super effective hit despite being the supposedly bulkier Raticate. Hey,
Yeah, original Raticate is just cooler as well. It just has a better design. They really downgraded the design.
even regular Raticate can hit a lot harder with Guts boosted Facade. Oh well. Te amo, rato. Hey, even the best
Oh, what's fairy? Okay, listen. Slurpuff! Oh, the other one. Aromatisse.
type has a few stinkers, as few of them as there are. The fairy type actually has a few contenders here, including the likes of Carbink and Shiinotic. But where Carbink can
Shinnok's not, but
set
well,
Trick Room
yeah.
and Shiinotic can spore Pokemon, the Dene is left lacking in
Oh, Dedenne. So wait, so okay. I really think that Morpeko. No, I think Morpeko actually might be more useful than Raticate now that I'm thinking of it. Yeah,
basically every department. The Dene is an electric fairy type Pokemon whose only claim to fame is the ability Cheek Pouch, an ability which causes it to heal 1/3 of its health every time it eats a berry, meaning that if it eats a citrus berry at half health, it'll heal right back up to full. This ability isn't all
Wow, pretty good.
too helpful when you realize that the Dene is not a defensive Pokemon. Its HP, defense, and special defense are 67, 57, and 67 respectively. Yeah, it's not taking that heavy slam, dude. While it does have a decent 101 base speed stat and passable 81 special attack, there are far better fairy types and electric types in the game, which do its job of spamming Nuzzle a lot better. It's also cursed with being a fairy type who doesn't learn Moonblast. It just gets Dazzling Gleam, making its already
what's the
low
point in that? I mean, I get it. I mean, maybe it's too small to wield the moon. The power of the moon has not been bestowed to the rats.
damage output even more disappointing. But that's my list of the worst Pokemon of each type.
That's
do you agree
every
with my
type?
takes? If not, what
Guys, what about Stellar type? What about Stellar type, everyone? Hey, you should subscribe to Moxie Boosted. I love these videos. I think they're great. And you know what? I'm just glad that I was right about Letty, you know?